Yeah. Sorry guys, there is a connection loss. Am I audible? All right. So we were doing the calculation with respect to number of debentures not opting for conversion. Okay, so a number of debentures for which we are supposed to give away equity shares and all. Okay, so when we see the question, in the question he says 25%. No, yeah, except for debenture holders holding 12%, 12,000 debentures in aggregate. Rest of them exercise the option for maximum conversion. That means, first of all, you are supposed to calculate this conversion only for other than 12,000. Okay, so I'm supposed to deduct less number of debentures not opting for conversion, which is 12,000. Okay, which is 12,000. So if I deduct this 12,000, what I get is number of debentures who have actually opted for conversion. Okay, so it's going to be 80,000 minus 12,000. 80,000 minus 12,000. Okay, so it is 68,000 debentures have opted. Okay, now for 68,000, I'm going to give what? I've agreed to give 25%. Okay, so please see, the debentures are due for redemption. That paragraph above assumptions, the debentures are due for redemption. The terms of issue of debentures provided that they were redeemable at a premium of 5%, and also conferred option to the debenture holders to convert 25% of their holding into equity shares at a predetermined price of 11.9. That means out of this 68,000, 25% will be converted into equity shares. 25,000, 25% will be converted into equity shares. Okay, so let us calculate that number of debentures who have opted for conversion, and percentage of 25%, 25% of the above. Yeah, I'll repeat. Someone is asking to repeat. What he is stating is, out of 68,000, 25% will be converted into equity at the rate of 11.9 per share is what he is stating. Okay, now for 25% of the 68,000, I am supposed to calculate what would have been the redemption value. Okay, redemption value I'll have to calculate first. I'm not audible. My speaker is on, sir. Okay, okay. So 25% of the above, that is out of 68,000, 25%, which is 17,000. Okay, 68,000 into 25% is going to be 17,000. Now, had I redeemed this 17,000, okay, redemption value for 17,000 would have been, he says the 17,000 will be redeemed at a premium of 5%. No, premium of 5%. That means it is going to be 17,000 into 105. Had I redeemed this 17,000 redemption debentures for cash, I would have got 17,85,000. However, now I am converting them into equity shares. Okay, equity share price considered for conversion is basically 11.9 is what he has stated. 11.9 is the conversion rate. If 11.9 is the rate at which I convert that redemption value of 17,85,000, number of equity shares to be allotted would be 17,85,000. Okay. 17,85,000 divided by 11.9, which is I will have to give away 1,50,000 shares of rupees 10 each. Okay. Number of equity shares of rupees 10 each to be allotted would be 1,50,000 equity shares. Okay. This is my first step. Okay. Now, once this is done, for remaining number, I am supposed to pay completely in cash only, no? Okay. Now let us calculate the cash to be paid. Okay. Calculation of cash to be paid on redemption. Okay. Now here it is going to be, now see number of debentures what you have. Number of debentures what you have is 80,000, out of which equity shares are converted only for 17,000 shares. Yes or no? Less converted into equity shares. Converted into equity shares is 17,000. Okay. So number of shares, number of debentures, sorry. Number of debentures for which cash to be paid is 80,000 minus 17,000, which is 63,000 debentures I am supposed to pay in cash. Okay. Redemption rate, redemption value is 105. Okay. So value of cash payable is equal to 63,000 into 105, which is 66 lakhs 15,000. Okay. 66 lakh 15,000 is what I'll have to pay to my debenture holders. Okay. So these are the few things which calculations which you are supposed to do. Now once this is done, you can go ahead with preparing balance sheet considering all these. Okay. Now what did he ask you in the question? He has asked you for these only, no? Redraft the balance sheet after giving effects to redemption. Okay. Now if you redeem, what all will impact? Equity share capital will increase. By what value will it increase? Equity share capital will increase by 1,50,000 shares of rupees 10 each. That means 15 lakhs will increase, which is existing equity share capital is 40 lakhs. Now it will become 55 lakhs. Okay. General reserve 50 lakhs is what I have. Yeah. General reserve 50 lakhs is what I have. He says when I am paying that 5% premium, he has asked me to adjust that against the general reserve. No, he has asked me to adjust to general reserve. So that adjustment I'll have to do. Okay. And then DRR is no more required. I can transfer it to general reserve. I can add it to general reserve. Debentures will not be there. Okay. Other loans would be there. Current liabilities will be as it is. Assets, if you observe, will be as it is. DRR investment account, you have got 32 lakhs is what he has stated. 30 lakhs is the value of book value, but you have got 32 lakhs. That means that 2 lakhs will go to P&L account. Okay. P&L account. And then cash balance, you are supposed to calculate what would be the cash balance. Okay. Other current assets would be as it is. Okay. So each of them, let us do adjustments and directly take it in the balance sheet now. Okay. So let us prepare the balance sheet. So come down. balance sheet of who is this fellow? Entice, Entice Limited. Okay. So particulars, amount, and amount. Okay. So start with equity and liability. In this equity share capital, first let us do in inner amount column, then we will take it to outer column. Okay. So equity share capital at the beginning, it is 40 lakhs. Add issued to debenture holders, 15 lakhs. So total comes to 55 lakhs. That's all. Okay. Now let's come to reserves. In reserves, you have general reserve. Okay. General reserve, opening balance given is 50 lakhs. Okay. From which you have deducted premium on redemption. Okay. 5 rupees per debenture it is. Less premium on redemption, which is 5 into how many it is? 80,000. Okay. 80,000 comes to 4 lakhs, right? Comes to 4 lakhs. This is supposed to be deducted. Then add DRR no more required. DRR no more required transferred. How much is it? It is 35 lakhs. Okay. Okay. So that's it. Now, if you observe in your reserves, you do not have, wait. You do not have P&L here. Okay. You do not have P&L. So let us take that, what do you call? Profit on sale of investments also here only. Okay. Add profit on sale of investments, 2 lakhs. Excuse me. Okay. So all put together, it has become 83 lakhs. 83 lakhs. And then you have, what else do we have? Now, you have issued your equity shares. You have issued your equity shares to your debenture holders for a value of 11.9 rupees. That means 1 rupee 90 paise is nothing but securities premium, yes or no? So securities premium on issue of equity shares to debenture holders. It is going to be 7. How many shares are issued? 1,50,000, no? 1,50,000 shares are issued into 1 rupee 90 paise. 1 rupee 90 paise. Okay. So it's going to be 2,85,000. Okay. So these are your reserves. These are your reserves. And then what else do you have? You do not have your debentures anymore. You have unsecured borrowings. Take it as it is. Unsecured borrowings is 45 lakhs. Okay. And then you have short-term borrowings. Short-term borrowings is 90 lakhs. Okay. Short-term borrowings is 90 lakhs with this total, which is 2,75,85,000. Okay. Total. Let's check whether it is correct or not. Come to the asset side. Assets. You have some fixed assets. Okay. Tangibles are there. Tangible fixed assets is 1 crore 50 lakhs. Okay. Cash and cash equivalents, I am supposed to calculate. Okay. Cash and cash equivalents. Let us take inner column. Opening given there is opening given there is 40 lakhs. Okay. 40 lakhs. Okay. Then you have sold your investments. You have got 32 lakhs. And you have paid your debenture holders. How much is paid? Go back to your this thing. Yeah, it is 66 lakhs 15,000. Okay. So on paying this, what you have net is 5,85,000 is what you are left with. Okay. So that's your cash balance. And then you have other current assets. Okay. Other current assets value comes to 1 crore 20 lakhs. Okay. So let's see total. Tally it. Okay. Total comes to 2 crore 75 lakh 85,000. Okay. So this is how we do. This is how we do whenever you are given any redemption with conversion option. Okay. So let's pick up the last question for the day and also for the entire batch. Okay. Please see second question. Mr. Piyush has had the following among their ledger opening balances on 1st of Jan 2014. 11% debentures, 2002 issue, 80 lakhs, DRR 70 lakhs, 13.5% debentures in Sneha Limited, face value 30 lakhs, value is 29 lakhs, own debentures, face value 30 lakhs, 27 lakhs. As 31st March 2014 was the date of redemption of the 2002 debentures, the company started buying own debentures and made the following purchase in the open market. 1/1/2014, 5,000 debentures at 98 come interest. 1/6/14, 5,000 debentures at 99 ex interest. Half yearly interest is due on the debentures on 30th of June and 31st of December in the case of both the companies. On 31st December 2014, the debentures in Sneha Limited were sold for 95 ex interest. On that date, the outstanding debentures of Piyush Limited were redeemed by payment and by cancellation. Show entries in the books of Piyush Limited for debenture redemption reserve account, own debentures account. Okay. The face value of debenture was 100 rupees. So this is the question which is given. Now what is he stating? He is talking about he has got his own debentures. That is, he has got debentures of 11% which he issued for 80 lakhs. Apart from that, he has invested in debentures of Sneha Limited. Face value is 30 lakhs. He has purchased for 29 lakhs. And he has invested in his own debentures also. Okay, face value is 30 lakhs. In open market, he bought for 27 lakhs. After this was there, He further went on buying. He further went on buying on 31st of December. That is on 1st of February 2014. He purchased 5,000 more debentures for 98. Come interest. And on 1st of June, 5,000 debentures at X interest at 99. Okay. So these two we are supposed to carefully take accounting. Okay. And then he says the interest is payable half yearly on 30th of June and 31st December. Okay. And he wants you to maintain that accounts for own debentures and DRR. Okay. Now, first of all, for debentures, if you observe, 80 lakhs is the amount of debentures which are getting redeemed, and DRR maintained is 70 lakhs. That means it is way beyond 10%. Okay, way beyond 10%. Let us assume that he also has made an investment also. Okay, since it is an old question, let us assume as if he has gone through the required compliances also. Okay, so with this intro, let us start with this intro. Let us start with DRR account, and own debentures account. Okay. Now, he has asked you to prepare only debenture redemption reserve account and own debentures account. However, we will be forced to prepare investment in Sneha also, because there are some values which come from there to here. Okay, so we are supposed to recognize those amounts of profits or losses on sale of investments, and then we will transfer the amounts to your from debenture redemption reserve, we will transfer to general reserve finally. Okay, so let us see what it is. Let us prepare first two accounts as he has asked for. Okay, so he has asked for first DRR account. Okay, and in which he has given opening balance of on 1/1 some financial year, which is the financial year 14. He has got a balance brought down of how much do you have in DRR? You have 70 lakhs. Okay, 70 lakhs. Okay, and then what other accounts do you have? You have own debentures account, investment in own debentures account. So here you have an opening balance on 1/1/2014 to balance brought down. How much is the balance you have got here? Okay, so investment in own debentures, we are supposed to prepare it in 3 column because it's an investment, investment account. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll open 3 columns here. Okay, so it is nominal value, interest and same columns here also. Okay. Investment in own debentures. These are the columns what we will be having. Okay. So opening balance, he stated that nominal value is 30 lakhs, interest nothing, and amount is 27 lakhs. Oh. Amount is 27 lakhs. Okay. Right now. So when this is the opening balance, you went again and bought on 1st February few more debentures. Yes or no? So on 1st of February 2014, you purchased to bank. 5,000 debentures is what you have bought. 100 rupees is face value. So it is 5 lakhs. 5 lakhs is what you have bought. Now this 5,000 debentures are purchased for X interest or cum interest. These are cum interest. At 98 rupees you have bought. Okay. Your debenture interest dates are 30th June and 31st December. That means when I purchased on 1st of February, 1 month is already passed. 1 month interest I will be getting in future, which is a pre-acquisition dividend. Okay. So that 1 month's interest I am supposed to take as part of interest cost, and then the remaining is taken towards my cost of investment in debentures, own debentures. Okay. So let me do that. So I'll do that working here itself. I'll do that working here itself. It is basically 5 lakhs into my debentures are basically what percentage debentures? 11% debentures. Okay. Into 11% into 1 divided by 12 for 1 month I want. Okay. So by doing this, I get to know that I will have 4,583 is my cost towards the interest. Okay. I'm paying towards interest. I'm paying towards interest this value. Okay. I'm paying towards interest this value. 4,583 is the amount what I'm paying. And the amount of investment what I have made is actually is actually 5,000 debentures I have purchased for 98 rupees. Okay. Okay. Out of this, there is a interest of 4,583. That means my investment value is actually 4,85,417. Okay. So on deducting this value, I got this 4,85,417. Okay. Apart from this, I purchased. So after this date of purchase, on 1st of June, I again purchased. Okay. On 1st of June, I again purchased my own debentures to bank. This time it is not cum interest, it is X interest. How much did I buy for? I bought it for 5,000 debentures. I bought for 99 X interest. Okay. So again, it is 5 lakhs nominal value. Okay. 5 lakhs nominal value. I bought for 99. So it is going to be 5,000 debentures into 99. So I have bought it for 4,95,000. But I should also calculate that broken period interest. No. Broken period interest is also to be capitalized. No. Okay. So broken period interest, if you observe, it is being the interest is being paid on 30th of June every year. That means I have purchased these debentures exactly 1 month before the dividend interest payment date. That means I have I have purchased them when there is a credit of 5 months of interest. Okay, so I'm supposed to calculate interest for 5 months. So 5 lakhs into 11% into 5 divided by 12 is what I'm supposed to do. By doing that, what I get is 22,917. 22,917 is the amount of interest component on this. Okay, interest component on this. Now, when this is the case, after this is done, I would have on 30th of June, there will be interest which I'm supposed to receive now on all these debentures what I hold. Okay, so next transaction date is 30th of June to 2014. 30th of June 2014 by debenture interest. I will not take by bank because it doesn't look good if I tell that I pay to me. Okay, hence I would take by debenture interest. By debenture interest, it is going to be so how much value am I supposed to take? I hold 40 lakh worth of debentures. Okay, 40 lakh worth of debentures on which I'm supposed to calculate interest. That is equal to 40 lakhs into 11% into 6 divided by 12. 6 divided by 12, which is 2,20,000. Okay, this is the transaction which has happened on 30th June. If you look at the way in which I am writing the entries, I'm posting it to investment account. I'm writing it in chronological order. 1st of Jan I have taken here. 2nd of Jan I have taken here. 1st of June I have taken here. If fairly speaking, 30th of June I can write here itself on the top. But for your convenience to understand the chronological order, I am writing it after the transaction date. Okay, so 30th June here it is. Okay, then after this, no other transactions have happened. On 31st of December, you have directly cancelled them. But however, on 31st of December, you also will have an amount of interest which is supposed to be paid to you. Yes or no? Same debenture interest is supposed to be paid to you on 31st of December also. Okay, debenture interest is supposed to be given to you on 31st December also. Hence, write those two entries for debenture. Okay. Now, on 31st of debenture, you are cancelling your 11% debentures. You are cancelling your 11% debentures. Okay. So the entry for your cancellation would be, on the debit you have 40 lakhs. On the credit, I will give you on 31st of December by 11% debentures for 40 lakhs. Okay. So on 31st of December 2014, by 11% debentures, nominal value is 40 lakhs and value is also 40 lakhs only. In my books, this is only the value. Okay. Now, when I close these, when I close all these accounts, when I close this entire account, it's going to be like this: 40 lakhs, 44 lakhs and 40 lakhs. And on the debits, it's going to be 40 lakhs, 4 lakh 40,000 and 40 lakhs. Okay. Now, out of all this, if you observe the interest, whatever you have, this will be transferred to your DRR. This will be transferred to your DRR. Okay. So to DRR, it is basically 4,40,000 minus sum of all those above. Okay. So 4,12,500 will be transferred to DRR. This happens on 31st of December 2014. Okay. 31st December 2014. This is what you transfer to DRR. And then on the same date, for sale of your, for cancellation of your debentures, whatever profit or loss you get on this, it is supposed to be transferred to capital reserve. Okay. So to capital reserve, it is going to be 40 lakhs minus sum of all those items there on the debits. So 3,19,583 will be transferred to capital reserve. Clear? So this is what we do in own debentures account, investment in own debentures account. Now, if you carefully observe, there are multiple places where DRR account is used. So go to all those respective accounts, okay, and pass it in respective places. So initially what has happened, by balance brought down 70 lakhs is there, okay. There is some transfer you have made to your DRR from your interest on debentures, yes or no? So take that, that is on 31st of December 2014 by investment in own debentures, that is interest. Interest on investment in own debentures. What is the value? It is the same 4,12,500. Okay, 4,12,500. And apart from this, see, there are two schools of thought. Number one, assuming that there is a investment made for the sake of debentures only. That is, any profits you make out of your debentures, you transfer it to debenture redemption reserve account only. Okay. If you are not believing that there is an investment made as a part of investment from your debenture redemption reserves, in such case you need not do. What I am thinking now is this investment in Sneha and investment in own debentures, all these are something which I have made out of DRR only, is what I am presuming. Okay. If you assume as if these are not part of your DRR, then you need not take it to DRR directly. You can take it to P&L also. Okay. So here I am assuming that to be it is part of DRR. Okay. Because he did not give you in the balance sheet anywhere that DRR investments are XYZ. Yes or no? He did not tell you. So what I assumed is these are part of your DRR investments only. Okay. So hence I am taking it to our DRR account only, debenture redemption reserve account. Okay. So now in the same way, like how I have prepared investment in own debentures account, there is requirement for us to prepare Sneha investment in Sneha also. Investment in Sneha also. So let us prepare a account for investment in Sneha. Okay. Sneha debentures. Okay. So let us start with opening balance of what we have in Sneha. On 1st of January 2014, okay, you have opening balance. The nominal value is 30 lakhs. Okay. Interest, nothing is there. You bought it for 29 lakhs. Okay. And then on 30th of June, okay, on 30th of June every year, 2014, you get interest. So here, take it to buy bank. Okay. It's basically your own interest. Okay. You need not take buy debenture interest and all. You can directly take it to buy bank because it is not your own debenture. It is somebody else's debenture which you are supposed to receive in cash only. Okay. Buy bank. So the percentage is 13.5%. So it is going to be nominal value of 30 lakhs into 13.5% into 6 divided by 12, because it is for 6 months. Okay. So same way on 31st January, 31st December also. You are supposed to write the same entry for interest. Okay. So amount would be the same. 2,02,500. Okay. After this, what happened? You sold it. You sold it. For how much did you sell it? He mentioned that it is sold for 95x interest. 95x interest. Okay. Excluding interest, it is 95 is what you are selling for. Now, look at the price which you are going to realize here. Okay. So by bank, the value what you are going to get here is, the value what you are going to get here is, so if it is 30 lakhs, number of debentures what you have is 30,000. Okay. Okay. It is equal to 30 lakhs divided by 100 into 95. So this is the price at which you are selling it off. Okay. So now if you observe, you have sold it for 28,50,000. Okay. You actually bought it for 29 lakhs, but you sold it for 28,50,000. Okay. That means you have a loss here. Loss on sale is there. This loss you can recognize in DRR, because that is the place where you are going to park all your profits or losses on investments. Okay. So by DRR, we will calculate the amount of loss. Please see. Okay. By DRR, it's going to be 29 lakhs minus 28,50,000. That is 50,000. Right? By DRR, this is loss. And then you have your profit here. No, that is your interest. Interest income is there. You have your interest income here, which is 4,05,000. So 4,05,000 will be transferred again to DRR only. Okay. To DRR, because these are income. Okay. 4,05,000 will be transferred to DRR. This also will be done on the same 31st of December 2014. Okay. So by doing this, you got to know how much is being transferred as loss on investment from Sneha, and interest income is also transferred to DRR. Okay. So let us go back to our DRR account. Okay. On the credit side, on the same 31st December, by investment in 13.5% debentures of Sneha, it is 4,05,000. Okay. By interest, this is okay. Sorry. By interest on investment. Okay. And at the same time, on the debit side, you are supposed to take, your loss. Okay. On 31st of December 2014 to investment in debentures of Sneha. It is going to be 50,000. Okay. Okay. On preparing all this, net of all this, you are supposed to transfer it to, general reserve, because there is no more use now. All your debentures are closed. Okay. So to general reserve, it's going to be 78,17,500 minus 50,000, which comes to 77,67,500. Clear? Now, so these are the accounts which he has asked you to pass, which he has asked you to prepare. Okay. So with this, we are done with all the calculations. Okay, guys. So with this, we are done with the debentures chapter also, topic also. Clear? Yeah, one request, please tell me. DRR provisions you want me to summarize once again? Definitely yes. Okay. I'll do that quickly. Please see. Yeah, sure. Now, I'll show you what I have written at that time on the whiteboard. I'll repeat that once again for you. Okay. I've started off saying DRR is supposed to be created by various entities. Your DRR creation is done at 10%, but who all have to create is what a list which I have given. The list is categorized into this way. First, you have identified all India financial institutions which are regulated by RBI and the banking companies. Okay, banking companies. Second, other financial institutions, and then you have categorized the listed companies. In listed companies, again you have three types of subclassifications. One is NBFC, HFC, Housing Finance Corporation. Third is others. And in the same way, even in unlisted companies also, you have these three classifications, that is NBFC, HFC, and others. Okay, I'll write this part alone here. Okay. And others. Okay, that is your unlisted. In unlisted, you have NBFC, HFC, and others. Okay. Now here also again two columns. Why? One is for DRR, second is for DRRI. Here also same way. DRR, DRRI. Okay. You may maintain it like this. Okay. Now, with respect to all India financial institutions and banking companies, DRR is not required. Okay. Other financial institutions refer respective NBFC is what it says. Okay. For listed companies, you need not prepare, you need not create DRR. You need not create DRR. Okay. When it comes to unlisted companies, for NBFC it is not required. For HFC it is not required. However, for others 10% is required to be created. This is what we have learnt. Okay. This is what we have learnt. Next, when it comes to your DRR investment creation, it is not required for all India financial institutions, and creation of DRI for other financial institutions, it is similar to NBFC only. If at all it gets classified as listed, then it has to adopt listed parameters. If it is unlisted, it goes by unlisted parameters. Okay. So refer NBFC. So for listed companies, mandatorily you are supposed to invest 15%. Okay. You're supposed to invest 15%, and HFC is 15% is mandatory. Others also 15% is mandatory. And when it comes to unlisted companies. For NBFC, not required. For HFC, not required. And for other finance institutions, 15% is required. 15% is required. Okay. Right. So this is the way in which DRR or DRRI will be created. However, when should I invest? When should I set aside? When should I invest is the question. Setting aside is supposed to be done if at all it is going to be redeemed in next year. By this year, 31st March, I am supposed to set aside. Okay, that means it could be redeemed at any point in next year. However, I am supposed to set aside the 10% by this year itself, by this year 31st March itself. And when should I create DRRI? When should I create DRRI? For example, if it is going to be redeemed next year, in that year, by 30th of April, if I create, that is sufficient. Okay. However, if the date which falls, if the date of redemption, which, if it falls before April 30 in the next year, I am supposed to provide DRRI in this current year itself for before April 30. Okay. So these are the two important aspects which you are supposed to observe and create. And many people ask this question, sir, should I keep creating this DRRI and DRR every year? Should I keep creating 10% and 15%? Not required. Not required. All that is required over the life of over the life of debentures, just before that 1 year of redemption, he is preparing you to keep monies available. That's all. He is preparing you to keep monies available. Beyond that, nothing is being done. Okay. He is preparing you to keep money 1 year before that. Clear? So this is what's expected from you to create DRR or DRRI. Okay. So with this, we will conclude, guys. Okay. Thank you for the patient listening. Okay. So we will stop here.